My name is Francesco de Souza. I've been working in DixonBaxi for the last 2 years and I'm a creative.
Hi, my name is Marta. I'm a producer and I've been working at DixonBaxi for the last 2 years. I went to film school and I always wanted to work in a creative environment. So after film school, I worked on a couple of feature movies as a second unit producer and as a line producer, and I absolutely loved it. So I worked on some commercials, and then I ended up at DixonBaxi. I've heard that they have amazing reputation and that they do some great work. And even though it's not always movies and it's not always shooting, I realized my passion for design and animation.
I started as a filmmaking as well, and I started working on Sony Pictures in 2010. Since 2010 in Caracas, Venezuela, for the Latin American unit, and I was working there for 5 years as a creative producer. So in the promo team, developing promos and concepts for the channel AXN. So my background is creative, but also I am a cinematographer. So I combine these two worlds, and where I can conceptualize, write, create concept, but also hands-on, grab a camera and tell a story. When we have a project and we know what we're going to do, the first thing we think is, who is the best person to achieve it? So it depends of the concept, depends of the execution. So sometimes there's stuff that we can do in-house, definitely, and we do it all the time, but also is, who is the best person to create the best result? And that's why if we go for crazy lasers and black paint or whatever, we know, or we have a short list of DOPs that we want to work with. When we have to do animation, same thing. We go, who is the best person to create the best result? So, and I think that's the key. It's not about ego. It's not about I can do all myself, because that's not true. This work and this business is about collaboration.
There's no such a thing as a small project or a small shoot. We take all of them very seriously, but some of them will require 15 people crew, and some of them recently we had 60 people on set, and the set was of the size of a football pitch, and it was a massive project for us. And Frank did a great job directing people, working with actually 2 DOPs on set. We had to make sure that in the space of few days only, we should, I believe, 60 very complicated technical shots, and it's all in preparation, in collaboration. So that's what it is. So I think it's very important to set the ambition for the project, make sure that everyone's on board, and then once we have that, once we have everyone fully on board, people will be relentless and will be working towards this result to achieve it that way.
My name is Rachel Bradley and I'm the Managing Director here at DixonBaxi. Sometimes on the client side, which has been amazing. It's a very, very different experience being the client, and other times on the agency side. And I think, you know, the role of MD at DixonBaxi is a really exciting world and space to occupy. You have to have a good tier of people around you. So when you're growing as a business, it's really difficult to know which people to invest in. You know, your staff and your team are your biggest expense. So, and it's lovely to think you could have whoever you want in whatever roles you want, but you can't. You know, you have to be really disciplined on growing a team cautiously and carefully and adding the right skills and the right people. So I guess over the years I've done a lot of those roles, I've worn a lot of those hats. So now we're in a position where I have, you know, an amazing head of production who has her own team that she can run. You know, we have our own finance manager, we've got a fantastic creative director with an amazing design director. You know, everything filters down. So I think having a good team of heads around you that you can just trust, delegate, you know, and work with, you know, it's still very collaborative. Just has made, it's a massive step change when you start bringing those people into the business, because it now enables you to free up and start to have more of a, you know, helicopter view of what's going on in the studio, and not get so sucked into specifics.